Friends, after a small gap of couple of months, the season of IPO has started again. Last week, four companies launched their IPO, and today, India Pesticide launched its IPO. So, in this video, we will see the long-term prospect of this company, and as an investor, should you apply to the IPO of this company? So, friends, welcome to this video. My name is Milin, and let's start with India Pesticide. So let's see the agenda. We'll talk about the company, its product and services. We will see the mode of the company, future growth levers, key risks and challenges. We will also see the financials of the company, peer comparison, and then in the end, we will see should you apply for the IPO of this company. Friends, I have sourced this information from DRHP, that is Draft Red Herring Prospects, that company has filed with SEBI. I have also referred to the reports from ICICI Direct, HDFC, SP Tulsian, and also from the Economic Times to come up with the synopsis of the IPO for this company. So let's talk about the company's product and services. So India Pesticide was incorporated in 1984. It is one of the rapidly growing company in the agrochemical sector in India. It manufactures agrochemical technicals and formulations. The 79% of the revenue is coming from the agrochemical technicals, and it has manufacturing facility in UP at two places, Lucknow and Hardoi. And it has the capacity of 19,500 metric tons for technicals and 6,500 metric tons for formulations. And as on 2021, the company capacity utilization was around 75%. So friends, let's understand what is mean by agrochemical, right? Agrochemical in a simple terms is a chemical product used in agriculture. But then what is the use of this agrochemical? So this agrochemical in most cases refers to the pesticides, and this could be herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, and nematicides. And we use these pesticides, right, to destroy the insects and other organisms which are harmful for the crop cultivation or to the animals. As I stated, the company deals with agrochemical technicals and formulations. So what is meant by agrochemical technicals, right? It is the active ingredients used to manufacture pesticides. Now let's understand what is the active ingredient. Friends, you must have consumed at some or other time a tablet of crocin to counter the fever. Now this crocin contains paracetamol. So this paracetamol is called the active ingredient. So it is basically the ingredient which helps to fight with the fever. And what is the formulation? Formulation is the end product. So the active ingredients are mixed in proportion with other components or other particles to come up with a final product or final formulations. So in the example of crocin, we can say crocin is the formulation, whereas the paracetamol is the active ingredient. Similarly, in the agrochemical technicals, right, the active ingredients used to manufacture pesticides, they are called agrochemical technicals, and the formulations are nothing but the product containing active ingredients. So Indian pesticides is mainly in the domain of manufacturing herbicides and fungicides, technicals and formulations. So basically, these are the agrochemicals which are used to fight the insecticides, herbicides, and to protect the crop. So that is the domain that Indian pesticide company operates in. Let's talk about IPO details. It launched today, 23rd of June. IPO ends on 25th of June. So people who are applying for online, they should apply for this IPO by 3 p.m. on 25th of June. The price band is 290 to 296, and the minimum lot size is 50. And the listing of this company is expected around 5th of July 2021. Let's talk about the company more. It is a sole Indian manufacturer of 5 technicals. At this point of time, Indian Pesticides manufactures around 8 technicals, and out of that 8 technicals, it is a sole manufacturer in India for the 5 technicals. It is also a leading manufacturer in globally for some of the technicals. For 2 or 3 technicals, it is the leading manufacturer of those technicals globally. And it has the core focus on quality and sustainability, and none of its key technicals are classified as red triangle or highly toxic products. Basically, it means that its products are not being classified which are very toxic or which are very harmful to the environment. And it is a net debt-free company. So basically, the company doesn't carry any debt on its shoulder, and I think that is one of the mode for the company. Let's talk about the key growth levers of the company. In next 5 years, approximately 4.2 billion USD worth of technical ingredients are expected to go off patent. And India pesticides being catering to the generic market, right? It augurs well for that future growth because it will be then able to manufacture these pesticides once they go off patent. It has 8 technicals under its portfolio, and it is planning to increase it to 16 over next 3 years basically. In fact, around 5 to 6 technicals may start contributing to the revenue from second half of FY22. It has been expanding its technical capacity to aid revenues for coming years. So at this point of time, we say that the company is operating at 75% of its capacity, and it is expanding its capacity so that it can take advantage of the technicals that are getting off patent in future, and it should be able to, and they should be able to aid its revenue for the coming years. And China plus alternative. This is again another growth lever, friends. Because of the COVID pandemic, a lot of global companies are trying to find an alternative to China. They don't want to depend solely on China, and they're looking other countries which can offer alternatives in terms of the skills, in terms of the environment, in terms of the manpower. And India is, uh, one of the best alternative for China. So that is one of the advantage, and this could be like one of the key growth lever for India pesticide in future. We'll see what are the client base it is catering to. So it is catering to well-known names like UPL, Syngenta, Essenja. Let's talk about the key risk and challenges. As we saw, company is currently manufacturing 8 technicals. Out of these 8 technicals, there are 2 technicals that may be banned in the domestically. And these technicals are forming around 18% of the overall revenue. So in FY21, the company's overall revenue was 649 crores. And these 2 molecules constitute around 115 crore of overall revenue, which is around 18%. So that is one of the key risks. Although company has mentioned that the export of these products is not going to be banned. The export contribution for the company in FY21 was around 57%. So even if there is ban on these 2 technicals domestically, maybe it may get cushioned to some extent by the export of these molecules, because these molecules will not be banned as a part of export. Adverse weather situation. Agriculture fields, basically agricultures in India and maybe across the globe, right? They are dependent on weather conditions, monsoons, and all that things, right? So adverse weather conditions can impact the future growth prospects of the company, right? And as we saw, the top 5 clients of the company contributes around 25% of the revenue. Top 10 customer contributes 58%. So if revenue from one of these, like 1 or 2 of these customers goes down, or if company loses these customers because of the competition, then that can impact the company's top line revenues very badly. So I think that is one of the key risks that investors need to watch out for this company. Let's talk about the financials now. From FY21 to FY20, from FY18 to FY21, company has clocked the revenue at the CAGR of 36%, and this is exceptional growth. In March 18, the company's revenue was around 253 crores, whereas in March 21, it clocked the revenue of around 650 crores. So a growth of 36% for last 3 years from FY18 to FY21 is exceptional. In terms of the profitability, operating profit, company has clocked CAGR of 66%. And the revenue margins, the operating margins has also been on the higher side. So in FY18, the operating profit margin was 16%, which was around 19% in FY19 and 20, and in FY21 it zoomed to 28%. So 28% operating margin is very good figure, and the operating profit growth CAGR of 66% is just exceptional. Very few companies will be able to achieve this kind of exceptional growth. Tracking the operating profit margin trend, the net profit margin trend is also on the same lines, basically. So it has increased at the CAGR of 60%. The profit margin, net profit margin for FY21 was 21%, and it has zoomed from 13% from FY18. So on the revenue, on the operating profit, and on the net profit, company is doing exceptionally good. Let's do some peer comparison. So if you see the India Pesticides, after it launches, after it gets listed, its market cap will be around 3,500 crore at the price band of 290, 296. Its operating margin is 28%, right? And if you see its peers like UPL, PI Industries, Atul Limited, those are all like in the range of 16 to 20%. So the OPM of the India Pesticides is exceptional. If you see the return on net worth, it is around 28% for India Pesticides, whereas again for other companies, it is probably ranging in the range of 14 to 20%. P is around 25.3 at the price of 296, and this is again a reasonable number. It is not very expensive. If you see some of the peers like PI Industries or Atul or the Bharat Rasayan, they are quoting about 30, 35. Right, and the market cap of 3,400, it means that this is small to mid cap company, and there is a good potential to what about the management tenants? Is management rational? Is management candid? Are there any legal issues with the management or company? So friends, this one you need to be worked out. There was a relative party transaction in Jan 21 where 3.7 lakh shares were allocated to a family of a non-executive director, and it was allocated at rupees 33.75. So this is a huge discount to the IPO price. So probably this is one gray spot that probably investors should monitor, and going ahead should keep a watch on these related party transactions. So let's see the summary. So yes, it is operating in agrochemical sectors. The sector growing well due to the need for improved agri products. China One policy is another advantage for the company. High margins, both at the operating as well as the net profit level. The company is maintaining a high margins, and the revenue and profitability growth is also exceptional. It's a net debt-free company. It has proposed capacity expansion to take advantage of future technicals that will go off patent, and at rupees 296, the higher price band, upper size of the price band, it is available at P of around 24. FY21 ROE was around 35%. So final verdict: is it worth an investment? Should investor apply for an IPO? So friends, if I were you, I think the company is available at reasonable valuations. It is not expensively priced. So one should or one can apply for the IPO. Please consult your financial planning. Do your own financial risk analysis to take the further call. In my opinion, not only from the IPO perspective, but even from the long-term perspective, an investor with an horizon of 3 to 5 years should consider this company as a part of their portfolio. Thanks a lot, friends. Do let me know if you like this video, provide your comments, and please like my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Happy investing.